So Nature in the City is something that has been around since 2006. It's a joint effort between the London Public Library and Nature London. Nature London is the club of which I'm a part. And so we had a bit of a, break in the COVID pandemic period, but it has been up and running since last year in the Wolf Performance Theatre. So it's been a great event, and over the 6 Tuesday evenings where they're scheduled presentations are from 7 until 8:30 p.m. People come in to learn a variety of nature-themed topics that are relevant to the City of London.
So I'll ask you about some of those topics in just a minute, but before that, why is this something that you want to do?
Well, I did say that I'm a part of Nature London, so being a hardcore nature lover and seeing that there's so much response from the city, there are a lot of other nature lovers that are out there. So these are topics that are not only relevant to nature, but also action. How can we make a difference on these various topics? And that's what each of the speakers is going to be tasked with.
All right, so then what kind of topics can we expect over the next 6 weeks or so?
If you were to come tonight, Tuesday, January 21st, the very first topic in the lineup is called The Universe from Your Backyard. And that's where Ryan Fraser takes people on a tour of the night sky as it can be seen from your own backyard.
Cool.
And he is a popular speaker. He has been a part of Nature in the City in the past. Next up, on Tuesday, the 28th of January, it's a topic called Found an Animal, and many people might be familiar with Salthaven. Well, Brian Salt is the founder of Salthaven, and he is the one that'll come in, and perhaps there are a few surprise guests that he's going to be bringing with him for viewers to be able to enjoy and learn more about. What typically happens at Salthaven is animals that are maybe orphaned or injured or ill. They are the people that many people will call upon in order to come out and rescue the animal.
I was out there once and met Brian. It's a pretty remarkable place they have going out there.
They have quite an operation, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then on February 4th, we have Exploring Environmental Law and Land Use Regulation by Jacob Damstra, who is a lawyer who practices in the area of the environment. And he's going to help us to, kind of unravel the red tape that is what we know of in government regulation. So this is a topic I think that'll be enlightening to a lot of us that don't work in law and don't work in government regulation. And then on February 11th, we have Climate Action Superhero. That is going to be presented by the CEO of Thames Talbot Land Trust, Daria Kaczynski. So this is where her topic is going to be driven specifically by how we can have a positive impact on climate action. Even though we might feel that it's something out of our realm, it has to be, regulated by the government, well, we can also reduce our carbon pollution footprint.
Okay.
The next topic...
Yeah, there's a couple more?
Well, the next topic is one that I'm actually presenting.
Oh, yes, that's right.
So that's on February 18th. I have a YouTube channel called Hiking with Kathleen, which also appears on Rogers TV as a 1-hour show. So the topic for February 18th is the wild side of London. I find that a lot of time when I run into different individuals who hike through the woods, they don't typically see very much more than maybe Canada geese or the flowing Thames River. This is where I want to be able to reveal to them the secrets of how I find white-tailed deer, coyotes, pileated woodpeckers. So that's the sort of thing I'm going to be able to reveal.
You have to know how to look?
You have to know how to listen, too.
Yeah, of course.
And then the last topic in the lineup is February 25th, where we have London's Amazing Chimney Swift. And that is going to be presented by Nature London's own Winnie Wake. She has been a volunteer who has studied and gathered a group of volunteers to study the activity of chimney swifts, which are on the decline. So find out how you can help them out by coming out that night.
All right. So these happen once a week for 6 weeks. How are they set up? Is it like a TED Talk?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really great analogy. So when you go to the Wolf Performance Hall, we have a Nature London table, so if you have questions specific to the club, that's where you can get your answers. But otherwise, when you sit in the theater, this is where the presenter has a slide presentation. They'll go through that, and then there's questions for a Q&A at the end. So all said and done, it would take between 7 and 8:30. But to get your good seat, you might want to come at 6:30 when the doors open.
Of course, okay. And were they busy last year?
Yeah, it's actually building on the fact that we had a 3-year hiatus. So there used to be lineups. First time around, when this had been up and running from 2006 till 2021, because it did take place in 2020 because it's early enough before the pandemic shutdown, there were lineups out the door. So we are striving to get back to that level, and I think it's just where people need to, through the awareness of CBC, being able to provide us with this airtime, knowing that it's up and running.
London's a beautiful place with so much nature. It's all around us. But you do talk about some serious topics here. So then what do you hope Londoners take away from this series?
It's an enlightenment. This is where people will come out to a topic that is maybe familiar, or maybe they're totally unfamiliar with it, and it'll give them a little bit of information, but also an action plan. How can I make a difference in this particular area?
Well, Kathleen, it's great to have you. Thank you for coming in and telling us all about this morning, and best of luck with the series.
Thanks so much, Andrew.